good morning and welcome to our Discover Dallas ISD webinar about the middle school programs and specialty schools. And we are going to be talking to you about the application process, just a little overview of what the application is, and then we'll go through all the programs. Buenos días. Si desea escuchar esta presentación en español, pueden seleccionar la opción en español en la parte derecha inferior de la pantalla en el símbolo del mundo. Si por algún motivo no escucha al intérprete, regrese al inglés y vuelva a intentar la opción en español. Si aún no funciona, por favor avísenos a través del Q&A, que son los símbolos como las bolitas en los cómics, que dice QIA. Desafortunadamente, la opción de interpretación no es compatible con las computadoras Chromebook. Le recomendamos que intente entrar a la reunión utilizando un teléfono celular, iPhone o Android, una computadora PC, iPad o tablet para poder escuchar la reunión en español. Y bienvenidos y gracias por ser parte de esta presentación. So now we're gonna, please, just as a reminder that if you already have started your application or you want to start your application at any point during this, you are welcome to do so. We have a phone bank that will help you out, and we'll give you information about that in a little bit. But first, I would like to introduce Keisha Crowder Davis and Jennifer Murillo, who will be talking to us about the application and give us walk us through the application. And Keisha, Jennifer.
All right, good morning, Dallas ISD families. Thank you for joining us as you discover all of the offerings that we have for your students. We hope that we're able at the end of this session for you to find a best fit school for your students. In order to locate all of the information about the schools, if you visit the district's website, www.dallasisd.org/choose-dallas-isd, or if you go to the home page, in the middle of the page, there's a schoolhouse that says Choose Dallas ISD. If you click on that page, it will bring you to all of this information. As you can tell, there are various options for your middle school student. If you click on the icon, additional information will populate. You're able to find out the acknowledgements or the requirements for those programs, and you're able to find out how many seats are available per grade level. Remember, the application deadline is January 31st. Next slide. We have an awesome school finder. I call this our shopping mall for schools. In order to locate a school, you're able to search 3 ways using School Finder. You're able to search first by proximity to your home. So you enter your application and the schools will show up in proximity to your home. You're able to search by program, and you're able to search by grade level. So in order to shop for schools, please visit the awesome School Finder. In School Finder, you'll find out all information about the school that you're interested in. The next thing we're going to talk about is our application, our Choose Dallas ISD application. Jen, take it away.
Thank you, Keisha. Good morning, everyone. As they mentioned, Maria Carmen, could I share, please? The application is a one-stop shop, so you are able to apply to various programs within one single application. We will, once I am able to share my screen, kind of walk you through that process. I do want to remind families, if your student is a current Dallas ISD student, then you are able to use the same website that you may have registered your student for this current school year. So this website might seem familiar to you if you submitted those registration forms, or if you may have applied last year for a choice program.
So we'll, Courtney, if you can stop sharing your screen so Jennifer can then share. Thank you.
There it goes. Thank you. Okay. So here you will see the parent login, of course. If this seems familiar to you, then you more than likely already have an account here. If your student is new or will be new to Dallas ISD next year, then you can create an account using the section on the right. So once you log in, you will see how to submit your application. A couple of important notes as you know before you begin. If you need to change your language to maybe Spanish or Arabic, you can do so on the top right using Google Translate. We also ask that you make sure you are on the correct school year. So the 2023 school year. If the student is already connected to your account, either because you submitted an application last year or you submitted the registration forms for this school year, just scroll down to the bottom and find your student here. And you'll be able to continue or start their application. If the student is not down here and you need to add them to your account, then you can scroll up and then click on Let's Begin Application. If the student is a current Dallas ISD student, we do encourage everyone to, or we require you all to provide their student ID number, their first and last name and birthday as we have it in the system. So you can verify that information on any Dallas ISD issued report card, progress report, or within your PowerSchool or Parent Portal account. If they are new or will be new to our district, you can just select no to that first question. After reading the requirements and policies, click agree and then continue to the application. I have one started already, so you can kind of see what that looks like for you all. Within the application, you can also change your language. So the application is available in Spanish as well. The student information page is just going to be their demographic information. If the student is a current Dallas ISD student, this will be pre-populated for you. But if you see any errors, please give us a call so we can make those corrections for you. You can also update the address here and then continue. As you can see on the left, you'll be able to track your progress within the application process at all times. Our more important pages here on this application is going to be our selected schools. So based on the address that you provided, you will see your zone school. So that is the campus where the student will have guaranteed enrollment and is not required to apply. Any other school or program, though, you can see on this application that's available to your students' incoming grade level. Here you can see the map. If distance is something that's important to you, you can see what schools are in the area. The green one is going to be your zone school, so you can kind of see what's around your house or that campus. If you already have the names of the schools that you're wanting to apply to, you can just scroll down and you'll be able to find them in alphabetical order. As you can see here, a few of our campuses do offer multiple programs. Alex Sanger, for example, has neighborhood transfers as well as secondary dual language programs. Alex W. Spence has a transfer option and a magnet school option. So it's really important that you all kind of pay attention to the types of programs that are available at these schools so you can maximize your selections on this application. Once you have selected your schools, you'll be able to continue to the next page where you can rank them. They will be defaulted to alphabetical order. So if this is not your preferred order of schools, then you can just drag and drop them to the correct location. This is very critical because students will only receive one offer based on this ranking. So you can make edits to the ranking, make edits to the selected schools, even after you submit your application, as long as it's done before the January 31st deadline. For siblings, if you have a sibling that currently attends one of the schools you're applying to, then you can enter their information here so they can be linked by the school. And if they have a sibling that will be applying with them, you can also enter their information here, again, so the school can link their applications together. On the left, you'll be able to see different pages are available based on the schools that parents select. So if you're applying to a magnet program, you'll see the required documents page where you can upload the student's most recent report card, test scores, and proof of residence. You'll also see additional magnet questions for different programs that you may be selecting. For transformation schools as well, they do have the required document upload page where you can submit the proof of residence and proof of income if the student will be identified as economically disadvantaged, and we'll get a little bit more into that once those program representatives speak on their programs. So once you submit or once you go through all of the pages, you'll see the check mark that will let you know that that page is done. You'll get to the agreements and signatures page where you'll be able to read the different compacts and agreements for the different types of programs. Once you submit the electronic signature, you'll have one last opportunity to review the information you entered. And if you need to make any edits at any point, you can do so here using the edit button on the right. If everything looks good, you can go ahead and submit your application. And once you get the complete page, you know it's submitted. So you'll have a brief overview of the application that you submitted and the ranking order. You'll also receive an email confirmation. So it's very important that you check to make sure you receive that email confirmation because you will be notified on their selections in March through this system. So you want to make sure you're getting those alerts. On your dashboard, you'll also be able to check the status of their application. In processing means the school still needs to review it, but as they review, these applications are going to start being marked eligible, or if they need additional information, you'll be able to see that being required or requested from you, so you can make those changes here. And it's as easy as that, guys.
Hey, Jennifer, a couple questions. What if I don't want to, like if I want to start this process for the application, but I don't want to submit it right away? Can I save it?
You definitely can. So on each page of the application that we just went through, there is going to be a save and exit button. So if you maybe need to pause the application because you need to gather the required documents, you can definitely save and exit. You will be taken back to the dashboard and you'll be able to continue where you left off.
And what happens if I submit the application, but then I go to, because, like I'm eager to get it done, but then before January 31st, I go to some open houses and maybe I change my mind about the ranking. Can I make changes, or is it once I submit, that's it?
No, you can definitely make changes up until January 31st. If it's simply a ranking change, then you can do so here on your dashboard. You can drag and drop these schools to a more preferred order. If you want to change the actual schools that you're applying to, then you can click the edit button on the right and then navigate back to the selected schools page. And here you can, add or remove any schools that you may have found interesting during those open houses.
Great. And that's also do I need to resubmit it, or do those changes automatically appear in what I've already submitted?
So if you make any changes, we do encourage parents just to go through the continue, just click on continue. So those changes are saved, and then you can re-rank your selections based on those new additions.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was information about our application for all of the programs that we're going to be talking about today. And now we're going to, because transferring to neighborhood schools is also something that can be done in this process. And so now we're going to hear from Jorge Flores about student transfers and how you can get that done.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Flores, and I'm part of the centralized enrollment team and student transfer coordinator. You heard some great information on how to find some schools and how to apply. Did you know that Dallas ISD has over 200 neighborhood schools with great programs for your students? In addition, if you live within the boundaries of Dallas ISD and you have a child in grades K to 12, they automatically have a seat into their zone neighborhood school. However, if your student wants to go ahead and enroll in a different neighborhood school, that is just like Mari Carmen said, that's where you would go ahead and apply for a student transfer to that other school. In addition, if you're interested in other neighborhood programs like a dual language or IB, you would also apply for their programs. All students who are marked eligible in the application will either receive a offered seat or be put on a wait list. In addition, one thing to keep in mind is that if you are approved for a student transfer, there is no transportation provided for the student when they are accepted into another school for a transfer, or if they're accepted into another neighborhood program that is outside of their attendance zone. The great thing about a student transfer is that you only need to apply once. Once you are approved, you can remain at that school up to the highest grade level as long as you continue to meet the rules and expectations of the transfer permission. And the unique thing about student transfers is that as long as a school has available space to accommodate a transfer, they can accept transfers throughout the whole entire school year. For more information on student transfers, visit us at dallasisd.org/student transfers. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Jorge. And that is, it's good to know about the transfers because that is an important tool that you have as parents to find the best fit school for your children. And talking about the best fit schools for your children, we are going to now move into the part of the program presentations of this session. But before we do that, our phones are now open. You should be able, if you have any questions about your online application or some of these programs, please call us at 972-925-5560. We will have folks answering your calls from 10 a.m. now until 1 p.m. today. This number is also available during the week, during working hours. If you need help with your application, if you're going to be answering it, filling it out during the week, they'll be there to help you out. These are enrollment experts from our One Centers who are answering this line, and they have a wealth of information and they're super happy to help you. So I would like to now share a video about our dual language program, and then we'll hear from our folks from that program so they can tell you a little bit more about what they offer.
Dallas ISD can put your student on the path to reading, writing, and speaking 2 languages proficiently and learning about 2 cultures. In a dual language program, your student can excel academically while fostering linguistic and cultural diversity through the learning of 2 languages. In a dual language program, your student will bring his or her home language to the school setting, which enriches the linguistic experience of all students. Your student will feel proud as he or she engages in a myriad of activities that build upon linguistic repertoire. And those who continue on the pathway toward bilingualism and biliteracy have more opportunities to advance in the global economy. This opportunity is open to all children in pre-K through 12th grade. Apply at dallasisd.org/choose-dallasisd.
Okay, great. So now if we can have our dual language representatives tell us a little bit about the program and how it works and how you can get into it.
Thank you very much, Mari Carmen. Of course. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy that you want to learn more about our various programs. We hope that you'll choose the program that best fits your child. Hopefully, it's dual language. Next slide. The ultimate goal of our program is to promote bilingualism, ensuring our dual language students are proficient, eloquent speakers in both Spanish and English, biliteracy, making certain that our dual language students can read and write at high academic levels in both Spanish and English, bilingualism, preparing our dual language students for a world larger than themselves, a world that includes people from all walks of life and backgrounds. Next, please. Let's take a quick look at what the programs look like in 6th through 8th grade. Students take 2 courses in Spanish, 1 core content course, and 1 Spanish load course. The remaining classes are taken in English. Local and state assessments are still taken in English. Next slide, please. Here is a sample of courses offered in our secondary dual language middle schools. Even within our program, notice that the courses offered include on-level and honors, previously called pre-AP. Students in these programs have an opportunity to take rigorous courses while growing their Spanish language skills. Next slide, please. That's another. I think
Okay, well,
we skip a slide, but yes, that's pretty much it.
Yes, I think that that maybe if we have questions about dual language, if this was not enough information, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A, and they'll be happy to answer them for you, whether it's live or on the Q&A. Now, if we can hear from Cristina Martinez, who is a representative from Student Activities, to tell us a little bit about what's available in middle school and how these activities help your child grow and develop.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cristina Martinez. I'm with Student Activities. Our goal in Student Activities is to remove barriers and provide opportunities for your students to participate in UIL academic competitions and extracurricular activities. On the screen, you'll see a wide array of activities that we offer within our department. This allows students to get real life lessons in leadership, teamwork, and organization. This assists in enhancing their academic performance. We all know that students that participate in extracurricular activities feel part of their community and their campus. They're more likely to come to school and they score better overall in school. Next slide, please. Our activities are vertically aligned, so activities that are available in middle school will carry on into high school. So our students will have the opportunity to learn about it in middle school and hopefully shine in those competitions all the way up to high school, and if they want to go beyond that, in college.
Great, thank you. And you know, part of the reason that we're sharing about these extra activities that are not necessarily specific to the specialty programs in school is because they are really important for your child as a whole. I mean, they provide a lot of enrichment, and you may have heard the term soft skills that will help them not only with their academics, but also with their life outside of the classroom and as they move on in school. And a lot of them are really fun. And you know what? School can be fun too. And these are the activities that make school really fun and make kids want to go to school. So definitely look at what we offer, because we offer these all of our schools, our programs, plus our neighborhood schools. Thank you, Cristina. Now we're going to talk a little bit about our magnet programs, which are also a popular offering at all of our grade levels and definitely at middle school.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Shatera Walter, and I'm the data specialist with the Centralized Enrollment Department. And I'm so excited to present to you the magnet options for Dallas Independent School District. Magnet programs are one of many high-quality school options offered by Dallas ISD. Dallas schools are theme-oriented courses of study that provide students in-depth experience in their areas of interest, such as STEAM, fine arts, tag Montessori, leadership, and multiple careers. All magnet schools have a selective admissions requirement and traditionally serve underrepresented populations with their areas of focus on ethnicity diversity. Next slide, please. We have 6 middle schools serving 6th through 8th grade. Some of our programs include Griner, Holmes, Atwell, Spence, Dallas and Science Environmental, and we also have 2 single gender schools that offer 6th through 12th grade, which is Barack Obama Male Leadership and Armor Rank Health. Next slide, please. Magnet schools serve pre-K through 12th grade also. We have 6 of these programs that include middle schools in our grade levels. Our multi-level middle schools are Montessori's Dealey and Harry Stone, J.P. Starks, Jesus Morales, and we also have 5 talented and gifted schools, which include Trinity Kites, Mark Twain, KB Polk, Sudie Williams, and Travis, and that's just to name a few. Next slide, please. The main difference between the magnet schools and other choice programs is that the magnet schools have eligibility requirements that students must meet. They must have a certain grade point average and meet the minimum grade point average of the 80th percent for the cumulative GPA for the talented and gifted programs, and all other programs require a 75% GPA cumulative. The minimum test score requirements to meet eligibility is 70% for talented and gifted schools, with the exception of KB Polk, which meets the 50th percent. All other programs have to meet the 40th percent. Next slide, please. Students that do not have test scores within the district can be tested at their home campus. And if they're an out-of-district student, they can also be tested at the out-of-district testing, which will be scheduled by the school that they're applying to. Seats are awarded based on the formula. 30% of the seats awarded to district-wide rank applicants based on overall assessment score. 70% of the seats are awarded within the comprehensive patterns and rank ordering of applicants based on their overall criteria. The sibling rule and sibling preference. Sibling rule grades George Benjamin Dealey and Harry Stone Montessori program. Sibling preference applies to all other elementary, middle schools, and magnet schools sibling preference awarded, and they are awarded an additional 5 points. If your student, again, does not have the testing, they can go ahead on and schedule their testing through their school that they're applying to. I know that I have offered you a substantial amount of information, and we want to encourage you to apply to Dallas Independent School District. You can apply at choosedallasisd.org, and if you want more information on the magnet programs, you can also log on to the Dallas ISD webpage for magnet and get more information. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that additional information. I just want to remind participants, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A that's at the bottom of your screen. It's the little symbol with the speech bubbles. If you want to, put them in there, we'll get them answered live right after the presentations, and we'll also start answering them on there as well. And now we are going to hear a little bit about our visual and performing arts programs at the middle school. And having taken theater in school, these are near and dear to my heart. So Dimas, if you can tell us about this.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Dimas Delgado. I'm representing the Visual and Performing Arts Department. Some quick facts about our programs. If you go to the next slide, we serve over 115,000 fine art students across the district. That includes our magnets and school of choice programs. We have 630 campus visual art programs. When you get into middle school, these things start getting a little bit more specific. Your students have the opportunity to participate at various schools: choir, dance, theater, band, and orchestra, and those things tend to be a little bit more specialized. You start hearing about things like jazz ensemble or mariachi or folkloric or dance, those types of things. 80% of Dallas ISD students are currently enrolled in fine arts in a fine arts course. So this is a very popular thing that we offer, and we have 744 teachers to serve our Dallas ISD students. Next slide. Dallas ISD Fine Arts. Right now, I mean, things are going fantastic. We are on fire these days. 2021 District of Distinction. This is the first time in Dallas ISD history that we have been distinguished by TAEA organization for quality visual art education. Here recently, we set a Dallas ISD record by having 22 Texas Dance Educator All-State dancers. The NAM Foundation, the National Association for Music, has named Dallas ISD one of the best communities for music education, and that's the second year in a row. We have 2 schools, South Oak Cliff and Thomas Jefferson, that were awarded Grammy Signature School Awards. As well, we have opportunities for all-state scholarships in music through the Texas Music Educators Association. Next slide. So a little bit more in depth about where we're coming from. So you saw your students experience at the elementary level, and now we're going into middle school. We're going to be focusing more on what it is that we're doing. So if you were in elementary music, now you're probably going to be taking a middle school band, beginning band in 6th grade, and then middle school varsity and non-varsity in 7th and 8th grade. Same thing with choir, beginning choir, fundamentals of dance. We now have the options for more specialized modern band. Orchestra is something that we did, some of our programs start in elementary school, but it continues into, elementary, and it continues into middle school. And with the addition of orchestra and band, we now have the opportunity to do mariachi. Theater and visual art, of course, are programs that we offer in the middle school. And all of these programs begin to look like what most of you remember, which is the high school experience, but they're a middle school version of them. There are opportunities for competition, for evaluation, concerts, and all sorts of chances for your kids to get to perform and show off the fantastic artwork that they're doing. So feel free to email us or visit our website on the Dallas ISD website. To the Visual and Performing Arts Department. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any more questions, and thank you. Now on to Transformation Office.
But before we get there, we are going to watch a video about the offerings in our transformation schools.
Dallas ISD's project-based learning schools are gateways to real-world experience for students. Students develop critical thinking skills required for the next generation workforce through hands-on learning, real-world projects, and teamwork. Project-based learning is a one-of-a-kind education in which students gain knowledge and skills by investigating and responding to an authentic, engaging, and complex question, problem, or challenge. This academic program offers career exploration, technology, and a curriculum that emphasizes problem solving, collaboration, and various forms of communication to empower student innovators and entrepreneurs. Choose a Dallas ISD project-based learning school for your child. Apply at dallasisd.org/choose Dallas ISD.
Fantastic. And now we'll have our representative from our Office of Transformation and Innovation to tell us about this really great programs.
Good morning. My name is Shakitha Butler, and I'm with the Office of Transformation and Innovation. Next slide, please. Our transformation schools are brand new startup schools with innovative models. They are open to students who live anywhere, and we do not have academic requirements. What's really unique about our campuses is that we have a 50-50 diversity lottery that's based on socioeconomic status. 50% of our seats are reserved for students who are economically disadvantaged, and 50% of our seats are reserved for students who are not. If your student is accepted into one of our programs, the transportation will be provided for free if you live within the district boundaries. Our process is a randomized lottery, again, based on those economic diversity requirements. Next slide, please. Here are some of our middle school offerings. Currently, we have 2 middle school Montessori offerings. At Mata Montessori, we have grades 6 through 8. At Montessori Academy at Hernandez, we have 6th grade currently, but we will build up to 8th grade. If single gender is your preference, we have grades pre-K 4 all the way up to 8th grade for our girls offering. And currently next year, we will add 6th grade to our boys. One of our newest campuses, Dallas Hybrid Preparatory School, is a virtual school where students attend classes 3 days a week from home and 2 days in person. We are taking applications for grades 3 through 8 for this campus. arts, you just heard about all of our wonderful arts programs. So we have an art school at Dr. Martin Luther King Junior Arts Academy. Next year, we will have grade 6th and 7th grade for middle school. And our West Dallas STEM School, you will apply there through a transfer, as it is a neighborhood school for the middle school side. And there are grades 7th and 8th grade available for your student. Next slide. Other transformation schools available is Hulsey STEAM School that's completely built out with grades 6 through 8. We have a unique offering in partnership with Paul Quinn College, where students will participate in International Baccalaureate. We currently have grades 6 through 8 for next year, and our personalized learning office is at Ignite Middle School. Next slide. We also have neighborhood schools. These schools are not an application-based system. You will participate in these programs through our transfer process, and we have several models available for your choosing. Next slide. This is just some of our offerings. As you can see, we have STEAM, single gender, IB, visual and performing arts, as well as personalized learning. Next slide. And that concludes our presentation. Please put your questions in the chat or visit the website to apply. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A so we can answer them live. We already have a few, so we're going to get to that right after we hear about our athletics programs.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is M.T. Taiski. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletics for Dallas ISD, and I'm here today to talk about our athletic programs. So currently, we offer 8 sports at the middle school level: baseball, basketball, cross country, football, soccer, softball, track and field, and volleyball. Those sports is also aligned with our high school sports as well. We also offer academies and camps for 6th grade for academies, and for the camps 6th through 8th grade. That's an opportunity for them to learn different sports and to try to pique their interest to see if they are interested in athletics. If for some reason they're not interested in sports, we do also offer a couple of programs for them to be around athletics, such as our athletic training program to teach them to become an athletic trainer. That's a pathway that students can do, as well as athletic communications program, where each student will be taught how to speak, interview, things of that nature. So those are also programs that the Department of Athletics offers. If you have any additional questions, please contact us at notifyathletics@dallasisd.org. Thank you.
Quick question before you leave us for the other Q&A. How are these programs available at the magnet and specialty schools? Is this something that they would have to go to participate in these programs back to their home school? How does that work exactly?
Good question. Yes, ma'am. So if students attend any magnet or specialty programs, they do have the right to participate in sports at their neighborhood school. So if you have any additional questions pertaining to that, please contact us, and then we can provide assistance for you and navigate you in the right direction on who to talk to.
Yes, and definitely this becomes more of an issue in high school, but it's good to have the information. So definitely reach out to athletics if you have any questions about that. And now we are moving into our Q&A part of the presentation. So let's start with a quick question about making changes. Just to confirm, you can still make changes once you submit your application, as long as you do it before January 31st. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, that is correct. You can make changes and edits to the ranking and school selections until January 31st, even if the application has been submitted.
Okay, excellent. And somebody wanted to know how they can check about information and about programs available in the middle schools that are around their home. Keisha, do you want to tell them a little bit more about School Finder?
Oh, sure. If you visit the Choose Dallas ISD website, remember it's the house in the middle of the page on the district's homepage. If you click on the house, you're able to select School Finder. You will put in your address in the very first field and select you're looking for a school closest to your home. So you select that, and then you're able to see all of the offerings that are, in proximity to where you live, and it maps them out. It tells you how far each of the schools are from your home.
Perfect. And I guess while you're here, we'll ask you, but so this lady's daughter started in this 5th grade this year, and they're new to the country. So they don't really have a previous score, and they don't have the scores for this year yet. So she would like to know what scores to use when they're applying for magnet schools. Scores are not needed for OTI, but just which scores can be used.
So for applying to magnet, they have 5 options. If they haven't received their current test scores, they can go back to last year, which is the 2020-2021 school year, and use scores, map scores from that school year. If they still don't have any test scores, either because they were virtual and didn't take a STAR or any other test, they can request to be tested at the school they are applying to. If they're enrolled in Dallas ISD, then they can be request to be tested at their home campus. But if not, they can sign up for testing at the magnet school.
Okay, great. So if you don't have scores, just there are different options, and if you definitely have nothing, you can be tested to be able to apply.
Correct.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We have a lot of questions about transportation. So I don't know, maybe there was some confusion, but if you are accepted into an transformation or innovation school, or you are accepted into a magnet school, you will receive transportation. Is that correct, guys?
That is correct.
That is
okay.
correct.
So yes, so I don't know where the confusion happened, but yes, transportation is offered for these schools. Where it's not offered is if you transfer schools, correct?
That is correct. If you are
Yes.
submitting an application and you are accepted for a student transfer, transportation is not provided.
Okay, so maybe that's where the confusion happened. And so hopefully we have cleared that up. We also have a lot of questions about special education services. For example, this one, I see that tax schools for the higher performing students. How can I find out a school that works well or better with students with learning differences, including SPED supports?
Once again, I would go back and I would visit the School Finder, and I would look up, I would search by programs. I would search by interest in programs for your student, and then special education supports and services are provided at all of our schools and in all of our programs.
Right, and there are steps for receiving special education services. There's some screening things, some meetings with parents, and then it's determined by a committee that includes the parents what those services will be, and they follow the child. So
Correct.
if your student is like in elementary school now and is receiving those services, then those services will follow them if they apply to any of these schools in the middle school level. And
yes.
later.
And we ask that you provide that documentation to us. You will receive either a 504 documentation packet or an IEP. So we would like to review that as you are applying to these programs, because all of the accommodations that are mandated in both of those documents will be followed in our assessments and the magnet programs.
And for changing subjects, but thank you for that information about special education services. When magnet schools programs like DELE fill their spots, when do they do that? Before or after the drawing for the lottery? Nancy, I don't know if you want to, or you, Keisha, I don't know who wants to jump in.
Nancy.
Yes. So the spots for, and I hope I'm understanding the question correctly, the spots for DELE or any other choice program are filled after the application process closes, which is January 31st. Parents are notified on March 1st via email if they were accepted and have 10 days to respond or confirm or decline. If there are still seats available after that time for any choice program, March 21st is when the application period will open again. If a student is on a wait list, such as if they're on a wait list for DELE, they remain on that wait list until space becomes available or until the first 2 weeks into the 2022-23 school year.
Okay, great, thank you. And do we, for the test scores, again, because we've gotten a lot of questions, if you're out of the district and you don't have star scores, or they're not great, there's a testing option, like we can test to see what your ranking is, right, Nancy? Can you tell us a little bit more the timeline for that or how you request it?
So at the time you fill out your application, you do have to upload scores. If you do not have scores, you can upload another document in that section. The school will contact you and let you know what you're missing. If you inform them that you do not have test scores, you have several options. Like I mentioned earlier, going back to your 2020-21 test scores. Also, what I did not mention earlier is that we do have a list of other tests that other districts may administer that we also accept. So there is a list on the Dallas ISD website, the magnet page, which is dallasisd.org/magnet. And there's a list of other tests that we do accept. If still you do not have any test scores, you can request to be tested through the applying school. And that testing takes place, the first testing date for the first students who are not enrolled in Dallas ISD takes place in January.
Okay, and hang on, because I do have another question about ranking that applies to magnet schools. Previously, some magnet schools did not consider students who put them as a second choice, as they had enough qualified first choice students who ranked them first.
Yes.
Now that the application process is centralized, has this changed? Is this blind, and does the ranking matter for the magnet schools?
Yes, the ranking does matter for any of the choice programs. You have 5 options. You rank them 1 through 5. You prioritize your first option because you will only receive one offer, and the offer that you will receive will be to the highest ranked school that has availability, that you qualify for and have availability. If you are placed at your number 1 choice, then you do not see anything lower than that, because you, by ranking it first, you're telling the system, this is the one school, the highest ranked school I want to go to. So if you receive a seat there, then you are placed, and your application does not get forwarded to the other schools for placement. But if you get waitlisted at your first choice school, the system will try to place you at your second or third, or whichever school has you qualify for and has availability. And then you will get the option, if space does open up at a higher ranked school, to select that option. But of course, again, the system will only generate one offer at the highest ranked school.
And that is if they don't have enough spots, or they don't have enough applications to fill all the spots from the students who ranked one school first, they will offer it to those who ranked it second.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. So yes, so if you really want that school, make sure you put it first, because it does, much better chances, because our magnet schools are pretty popular. And this is actually a question for our OTI representative. The question was, how does specialized learning work? But I think maybe they meant personalized learning. So can you give us like a little bit of an explanation of what that looks like? And this will be our last question.
Okay, and I'm just wondering about clarity of the question. I'm wondering if maybe they're considering if we provide special education, because sometimes we do get that question a lot with our OTI schools, and we do. Our students do receive special education services as it relates to our personalized learning pathway. That pathway, again, is not related to special education. It's a unique, innovative process that includes lots of design thinking and project-based learning, where the students have playlists where they're able to learn different things on those playlists at their own pace.
Great, thank you so much. So we are coming to a close for this session. Thank you so much for being part of this. I want to remind you that we have another set of sessions like this on December 4th. If you still haven't quite decided where you want your child to go, we will have another opportunity for you to ask questions on December 4th. And it'll be the same system. Elementary, middle, and high school programs will have separate sessions. I want to remind you about the phone bank. We'll have phone banks. The phone bank is open from 10 to 1. And our schools are, and the number is on your screen, 972-925-5560. There are a lot of people who asked about the open houses. A lot of schools will be having open houses during November, and some of them into December. So please check out their websites, their individual school websites, to see when those dates are. And they'll because if you want to visit the school, you can, and we'll have that option through that. Just remind you that the application deadline is January 31st. You can make changes up to then, but after that is it. So thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much to the presenters for providing all this great information. And if you still have questions, please feel free to call us at 972-925-5560. Have a fantastic day. And if you're joining us for the high school programs, we will start those in just a few minutes. Thank you.